now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, exclusively here as always on the Casa D18 Studios channel. I, of course, am your host, the Renegade JJ Williams, and we're trying to get caught up today. We're going to take a look at the review that was supposed to go up yesterday. I apologize again for its tardiness. Today we're going to discuss A Star is Born, starring Bradley Cooper, Lady Gaga, Sam Elliott, Rafi Gavron, Andrew Dice Clay, Anthony Ramos, Dave Chappelle, and Greg Grunberg. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me here once again for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews. As I send the introduction, today we're going to play a little bit of catch-up, giving you an unintended double feature day. We're going to take a look at yesterday's film, A Star is Born, while still bringing you today's new release Saturday film. And yesterday I was supposed to cover A Star is Born, and The fact that it didn't go up was completely on me. As some of you may know, on Wednesday, myself and the West Coast professor Jeff Meacham were at the Fabulous Forum for AEW Dynamite. I had hooted and hollered and screamed and sang along at the top of my lungs, so I didn't have a whole lot of my voice come the end of Wednesday going into Thursday. So I wasn't able to just sit down, film my review, get that all taken care of by Friday. I had a little bit more of my voice, but I had to rush home, produce the live stream for Hard to Kill and Rampage. So I didn't have time to film it then. So we're getting it in. It is literally Saturday morning, 10 a.m. West Coast time, as I am filming this. I'm filming this. I'm filming my new release Saturday review. And I'm filming tomorrow's Warzone all at the same time. So that, like I said, hopefully we can get all caught up. But let's get into A Star is Born now, shall we? And as our movie opens, 43-year-old Jack Maine, who is a famous country rock singer, is privately battling an alcohol and drug addiction, and he plays a concert. His primary support is Bobby, who is his manager and older half brother. After the show, Jack goes out for drinks and ends up visiting a drag bar where he witnesses a tribute performance to Edith Piaf by 31-year-old Allie, who works as a waitress and singer-songwriter. Now, Jack is amazed by Allie's performance, and they spend the rest of the night talking to each other as Allie discusses her unsuccessful attempts at pursuing a music career. When Allie shares some lyrics that she has been working on with Jack, he tells her that she is a talented songwriter and she should perform her own material. Jack invites Allie to his next show, and despite her initial refusal, she ends up attending and, with Jack's encouragement, performs her own song, Shallow, on stage with him. Jack then invites Allie to go out on tour with him, and they end up forming a romantic relationship. In Arizona, Allie and Jack visit the ranch where Jack grew up and where his father is buried, only to discover that Bobby sold the land, which was now converted into a wind farm. Angered at his betrayal, Jack attacks Bobby, who subsequently quits as his manager. However, before doing so, Bobby reveals that he did inform Jack of the sale, but he was too drunk to notice. While on tour, Allie meets Rez, a record producer who offers her a contract, and although visibly bothered, Jack supports her decision. Rez begins to refocus Allie away from country music and more towards pop. Jack ends up missing one of Allie's performances after he passes out drunk in public and then recovers at the home of his best friend, George Noodles Stone, where he later makes up with Allie. While there, Jack proposes to Allie with an impromptu ring that he made from a loop of a guitar string. They are married that same day at a church that is ministered by a relative of Noodles. During Allie's performance on Saturday Night Live, Bobby and Jack reconcile. And later that night, a drunken Jack fights with Allie over Allie's growing success. Jack begins to criticize Allie's new image and music, as her success appears to be outpacing his recent decline in popularity. At the Grammys, where Allie is nominated for 3 awards, a visibly intoxicated Jack performs a tribute to Roy Orbison. And later in the ceremony, when Allie wins the Best New Artist award, she goes on stage to receive the award, and a still inebriated Jack staggers up to the stage, publicly wets himself, and passes out. Allie's father, Lorenzo, then berates a semi conscious Jack while Allie attempts to sober him up. Jack ends up joining a rehabilitation program shortly thereafter, and while recovering in rehab for about 2 months, Jack discloses to his counselor that he tried to commit suicide at the age of 12. He also mentions that he has hearing problems due to progressively worsening tinnitus. Jack tearfully apologizes to Allie for his behavior. While returning home, Jack admits to Bobby that it was he whom he idolized and not their father. Allie then asks Rez to bring Jack with her on her European tour, but Rez refuses, prompting Allie to cancel the remainder of her tour so she can care for Jack. Later, while waiting at their home for Allie, Rez confronts Jack and accuses him of nearly ruining Allie's career, stating that Jack will most certainly relapse once again. That evening, Allie lies to Jack and tells him that her record label canceled her tour so that she can focus on her second album. Jack promises Allie that he will attend her concert that evening, but after Allie leaves, he hangs himself in their garage. Allie, grief stricken and inconsolable after Jack's suicide, is visited by Bobby, who tells her that the suicide was all Jack's fault and not hers. We then see a flashback of Jack working on a song about his love for Allie, which he never was able to finish. Allie sings the song as a tribute to Jack, introducing herself for the very first time as Allie Main as our movie comes to its end. If I'm being 100% honest with you, A Star is Born is a movie that I never imagined I would like. I'm not a fan of Lady Gaga whatsoever. But when I sat down and I watched it the first time, this was the second time I think I've seen it. But when I sat down and watched it the first time, I immediately was captivated and fell in love with the movie. I think the songs are great, and I thought the chemistry between Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga was undeniable. Um, it's it's just one of those rags to riches type of stories, where this small town girl, living in a lonely world as it were, gets discovered by the right person at the right time and her career just takes off, man. And you're pulling for Allie every step of the way, but you're also feeling for Jack. It's like he's the reason that she is doing so well because he discovered her and he gets nothing. His career doesn't even get a little resurgence as a result of it. Like he's got his diehard audience that shows up to all his shows, but you don't see his fame grow any as a result of Allie being with him. And it's sad. And you kind of feel for him the juxtaposition of their two careers. But it's it's such a good story, and it's a familiar story in the music industry where someone has that decline as somebody else has their incline. Generally, the two people aren't connected with each other to the level that Jack and Allie are. It's often generational talents, but they're never usually connected in the way that they are in this film. And I thought that added for an interesting dynamic between the two. For me, when Lady Gaga isn't being Lady Gaga and you strip away everything down and you just get Stephanie, I find her a lot more tolerable. And this movie, especially the first half of it, where you're really starting to get introduced to and form your relationship with these characters, she is very much Stephanie. Once Rez tries to turn her more pop, you see a little bit of that Gaga start to come out of her. but at her core, you can still see that she's just Stephanie. She wants to be Stephanie. You know, she wants to be her character, Allie. So you can kind of see it. And maybe that's one of the statements that she's making with this movie, is that she's kind of over the glamour and the glitz, and she wants to get back to being a little bit more of who she is. It's always a possibility, but you know, I can count on one hand, with digits left over, the amount of songs from Lady Gaga I like. But that's neither here nor there. This movie is a great movie. I'm so glad I picked it to cover this month. And there have been so many versions of A Star is Born in the past that if we ever do a month where we do like an original and a remake, like there's so many other versions where we can do more tellings of this story. You got Judy Garland, you got Barbara Streisand, etc. And there's at least another one that I'm forgetting thrown in there too. But I digress once again. When it comes to my rating for A Star is Born, I will admit there's a few parts that drag, but overall, I'd say it's a solid movie, solid acting, solid story, solid songs. I give A Star is Born 4 out of 5 stars. All those reasons. Shallow is phenomenal. Some of the other songs in it are amazing as well. I can't recall the titles of them off the top of my head. Obviously, Shallow was the mega single, but it's definitely worth checking out, even if you're not a musical fanatic, even if you're not a Lady Gaga fan. Just give this movie a look. I don't think you'll regret it. Those of you that have seen this version of A Star is Born, what did you think? Let me know. If you're watching the premiere, leave your thoughts and comments over here. If you're watching on demand later in the day, leave your thoughts and comments down here. Let's have that conversation, that discussion, that debate, that interaction that I'm always asking you guys for in the comments below. And make sure you guys tune in later on today, right here to the Casa D18 Studios channel for another edition of Renegades Reviews. And it's new release Saturday. We were supposed to take a look at the film Babylon, but I was unable to get to the multiplex and see it. So it is being replaced by The Pale Blue Eye, a Netflix original film starring Christian Bale, Harry Melling, Simon McBurney, Timothy Spall, Toby Jones, Harry Lottie, Robert Duvall, and Gillian Anderson. And then, also later this evening, right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, as well as on the Jeff Meacham Network and across the Jeff Meacham Network multiverse of media, it is time once again to open the doors for Open Mic Night. Tonight we are celebrating our 1-year anniversary as a show. So you're going to want to make sure that you tune in, step into the club, see what myself, the Simple Man Noah Foster, the Hebe Man James Hebert, and whoever else decides to join us and step up to the microphone has to say this evening on Open Mic Night. And then tomorrow, back here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, it'll be time once again to step into the War Zone, the weekly acquisition report where I, the Renegade, show off the latest additions to my ever-growing movie library. This week we go back to Dollar Tree and we take a look at some of the newest DVDs that I've acquired from there. You don't want to miss out on any of that content right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, on the Jeff Meacham Network, across the Jeff Meacham Network multiverse of media. We've got the Pale Blue Eye, we've got Open Mic Night, we've got the War Zone, and we still have about 2 weeks worth of musicals here on Renegades Reviews. So make sure you smash that like button, make sure you're subscribed, make sure that notification bell is turned on so you don't miss out anytime a video drops right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel or anytime we go live, as is the case with Open Mic Night, Stat Boy Sports Bar, pay-per-view PLE coverage, etc. Share these videos with your family, friends, loved ones, coworkers, movie fanatics, cinephiles in your life, fans of the story A Star is Born, fans of Bradley Cooper or Lady Gaga or Sam Elliott or Greg Grunberg. Anybody you can think of that would enjoy this content in this video, share it with them. It's the only way we're going to boost up my visibility in YouTube's algorithms so I can eventually get monetized, make some money on all my efforts here. Thank you once again to everyone who joined me and tuned in today. It means more to me than you'll ever know. And I will see you guys next time.